Hello there! New episode from Nepal. Today is the 2nd of May and my birthday. This year I celebrated in the Everest Base Camp. So hit the like button to congratulate me or write something in the comment. Just a couple of days ago I went back from the first acclimatization phase. With my team we crossed terrible Khumbu icefall, the dangerous place on the way to the Everest summit. The link to the video about it is down below in the description. We spent a night in the camp too, at the altitude 6,400 meters. And after that I did a camp 3 touch. Just climbed there for a moment and returned back to the base camp for the rest. So here I am, and now I am ready for the new round of acclimatization. This time I'll do a climb with my Nima Sherpa all the way up to the Camp 3. We're gonna pitch a tent there, spend the night, and the next morning I'll try to go even higher, to reach Camp 4 at the altitude 7,400 meters. Comment from the future me. Holy smokes, it's not so easy, I mean it's damn hard. But first thing first, I have to cross Khumbu icefall once again. This time the pace is much faster. This is how acclimatization works. Your body gets used to the altitude. During the first ascent I spent about 8 hours to reach the Camp 1. It's just above the Khumbu icefall. But this time I did it in 5 hours. I can't say it was much easier, but definitely faster. This time I even decided to start the ascent not at 2 or 3 am, but at 6 am. Because I hate to wake up in the middle of the night and climb. It's cold and dark. I believe it is better to have a proper rest and start at sunrise. And what do you think about it? Is it safe enough? Share your opinion in the comments. Also this time we are not going to have a night here in the Camp 1, but heading directly to the Camp 2 to save a day. This is a common practice, to skip Camp 1 after acclimatization. Now I'm finally in the Camp 2. The day was very hard. First you need 5 hours to cross Khumbu icefall, then a short rest in the Camp 1 and 4 more hours to Camp 2. At the beginning the weather was sunny and super hot. Then afternoon there was a blizzard, so half of the way I went under the snow and strong wind. But finally I'm here. Here is already a tent for me and some of my stuff that was left after the first round. Warm sleeping bag, down suit and some clothes. The temperature now is very low and it's much colder than previous time. Nima said that this is because of fresh snow. Tomorrow we are going to climb up to the Camp 3. Good morning, it's the next day, but we are still in a Camp 2. We decided to stay here for one more night because of the snow that fell yesterday. You can see the snow covered the tent. So I'm going to have a rest today, and tomorrow morning we are heading to Camp 3 at the altitude 7,100 meters. Later this day I saw why it is a good idea to wait a bit. A lot of avalanches from slopes around the camp. On the peaks you can see snowflakes. Wind is blowing snow from the top of mountains. It means that wind there is very strong, and it makes the cold feel even stronger. The weather around the camp wasn't calm either. Tomorrow morning around 7:30 we are going to start ascent to Camp 3. Nima said that most probably it will be super cold and windy. He advised to use my down suit. I hate the cold, so I'll definitely do it. The weather is sunny but windy and cold. We are heading to the Camp 3. We have to gain about 600 meters. The distance here doesn't matter, the only altitude difference. If everything will be okay, we will be there in 3 or 4 hours. Right after the Camp 2, the trail goes relatively flat, till the end, or actually beginning of Khumbu Glacier, under the Lhotse wall. Then it is much more steep. And in the middle of the wall there is a relatively safe place where Camp 3 is located. The ascent to Camp 3 is super exhausting. Endless steep slope, no place to rest, just rope that goes higher and higher. Finally, we reached first tents of the camp. So far, here are just few of them. Nima said that here is a tent of his good friend, so we can use it and do not pitch our own tent. Because it requires a lot of work. Move snow to make a flat surface for a tent at this altitude is really hard. I tried and I know. So we stayed in the tent, but after some hours another group of climbers came here and said that this is actually their tent and they need it.
Surprise, motherfucker!
So we have to move to another tent. I hope this time nobody kicks us out. During the night I slept quite well, despite the strong wind and first night at this altitude. The next morning I decided to climb higher. Nima felt not so good, so he decided to stay at the tent in a camp. We agreed that I'll be back not more than in 4 hours. My ultimate goal was to touch Camp 4 at the altitude 7,400 meters, but in 4 hours it seems almost impossible. But at least I can climb as much as I have time. So I left the camp and started to walk along the rope that goes to the Camp 4 direction. After I left the camp, the road continues same direction as before, just straight up. The steepness is the same. Here I met the Sherpa climber who was in the team that just fixed the ropes to the Everest summit. So he just went down from the top of the world. The weather is sunny but so cold and windy, it was terrible. Sherpa has big chunk of ice frozen on his jacket right under the oxygen mask, on his chest. When you breathe, vapor from air condensates inside the mask and drips. Sometimes the ice can even block oxygen supply, so you have to be aware of it. Luckily or not, I'm without oxygen mask, so I do not need to worry about it. On the other side, without supplementary oxygen, it is much more harder to climb. And what is even worse, much colder. When there is less oxygen in your blood, it cannot keep your legs and hands warm, so it is easier to get frostbitten. After a couple of hours, I went up about 200 meters above camp. Here the slope becomes not so steep and trail first goes along the couloir and then at the top crosses it. It goes to the famous yellow band of Everest. The sedimentary sandstone rock of the yellow band is distinctive feature of Lhotse face, which requires about 100 meters of rope to traverse it. This is the first rock a climber touched on the road to the Everest summit. But I decided that this is enough for me. I was so exhausted, it was so cold, so I decided to go back immediately. While I am at least alive. And one more very important decision. I estimated if it is so hard here. There is more than 1000 meters of altitude to gain to the summit. So let's be honest, I can't do it, at least without supplementary oxygen. I'm going back to the base camp to rest and decide what I'm going to do next. In this rotation I started from the base camp, as usual, spent 2 nights in camp 2 at the altitude about 6400 meters, 1 night in camp 3 at the altitude about 7100 meters, and gained couple more 100 meters to the camp 4 direction. And now I'm heading back to the base camp. So, for the whole expedition, I reached the maximum altitude about 7,300 meters. And short spoiler for the next part. By the way, if you are not subscribed yet, please do it now, so you will not miss the final part of this adventure. So I'll face blizzards, crevasses again, avalanches, flying rocks. Where the hell I'm going? See you there.
Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.